Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Tuesday, November 25th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, we are looking at ONDS. Very, very big mover today. And this will mean maybe a little bit more to those of you that have watched past videos. But if you have been talking about this big sideways channel that we've, price essentially been trapped in for the past couple of weeks. And you can see right here, price came up here and this time broke above 787, the top of the pattern, and then just continued on upwards, which was the big difference because it has broken above it before. But the difference here was that these situations, the price could never maintain above it. But then you look right here and yeah, the price had zero problem maintaining and up it's gone from there. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little house clean and get rid of that. And the first update is just based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So the ideal level moving forward, I mean, if you say, Clay, what would make this chart look the best, would be if the price can indeed stay above 787. But from the overarching standpoint, just watch that purple line there, the 50-period simple moving average. Keyword being moving. So as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher. So from the overarching standpoint, as long as the price stays above that line, which is increasing itself, well then by definition, that means the price is increasing and pulling higher lows, which is how uptrends are constructed. So very straightforward. Just watch that purple line. And again, like I said, from the overarching standpoint, as long as the price stays above there, then the bulls are in full control. But overall, great break to the upside. Great final 30 minutes occurring right now. So let's see if the price can continue to show those signs of progress moving forward. Next one, OPEN. Very, very nice continuation today. As a quick little recap, when I talked about this one on Friday, at that point, it had finally broken above this red line, which I've talked about time and time again in past videos. And then today it was more a question of, okay, well, let's see if it can get any sort of continuation. And we got our answer today. It definitely got a whole lot of continuation. So very, very impressive breakout now of that line. So in fact, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. And we'll get rid of that level as it's not really relevant any longer. But now moving forward, it goes back to that same, talking point we just had about kind of the ideal levels versus just the overall. So ideally, what would make this chart look the strongest if the price can now stay above that pink line there, that 200-period moving average, right now valued at $7.50. With that said, again, same logic that I just talked about, so I'm going to go through it a little bit quicker to respect your time. But from the overarching standpoint, watch that purple line. As that line, the 50-period simple moving average, moves higher and higher, then as long as the price stays above there, that implies the price itself is in an overall uptrend. So ideally, that 200-period moving average, but overall, as long as price stays above that purple line, that is what you want to see. In terms of next potential battlegrounds, main dynamic to watch moving forward, from a resistance standpoint, right here at that area, right around $8.10, which going back here, you can see acted as resistance a couple of times right there. But anyway, look at it. Great start to the week with the trend line continuation. So let's see how this momentum continues to play out. Next one, IVP, and very nice movement today. And now I think we have a very well, I would assume a lot of people have connected those lines. Therefore, a lot of people are watching that trend line, and a lot of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same thing. Call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. It can produce some very dynamic movement. So there is no such thing as a guarantee, but is it valid? Is it plausible that if the price comes up here and breaks through there, that break, again, even if you just want to call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, that break could create upside buying pressure? I think that is a more than valid question to throw out there as a possibility. So if you like what I would call well-defined, potentially self-fulfilling prophecy type situations, you like penny stocks, then definitely keep your eye here on IVP. Next one here, BBAI, another very nice mover today. And now just a question of, can it stay above these key levels? So like I said, I don't mean to go too quickly, but I want to respect your time and don't want to, repeat myself over and over. But preferably speaking, now moving forward, stay above that pink line there, 200-period moving average, valued at $5.97. But from the overarching standpoint, not the end of the world if the price drops below there, because it's now above that purple line. And the longer the price stays above there, that purple line is going to start to curl upwards. And then that's the golden goose right there. When it curls upwards and gets a nice upwards trend to it, that implies that the price itself is continuing to put in higher highs and higher lows, which from a trend building perspective is what it's all about. So keep your eye on those couple areas from the support side of things in terms of areas of resistance. Next key main battleground to watch right up here around that $6.40 mark, which is coming from these highs up over here. So keep an eye on that general area right there. But anyway, look at it. Very, very nice way to start off the week. Next one, NVDA. Very, very straightforward from a technical standpoint in terms of, the key levels. So let's just first start with the area of support. And that is, and this will mean a little bit more if you watched the video from last week, but I talked about this 176.35 area. And you can see on the pullback here, that's right where the price found some support and then got the bounce. So keep an eye on that moving into, the coming days. 176.35 going to be that. I'm not going to again call it a do or die level, but certainly one where if the price can stay above it, that is representing the price continuing to maintain, kind of build out potentially a new bottom here. So keep a close eye on that. And then on the flip side of things, again, if you watched the previous video, nothing new here. Continue to watch just that purple line there, which I talked about, that 50 period moving average. You can see rejected the price there, rejected it, and then you look at today, and once again, surprise, surprise, more rejection. So not saying that level can't be broken, but in the very near term, that is certainly the key battleground of resistance. Current value of that, we'll just call it right there at 183. So very cut and dry right now. Two key technical levels. Let's continue to see how the week plays out. Real quickly, I want to take a break and help you solve a very common problem that maybe pertains to you, and that is the pattern day trader rule, where you'd like to be a day trader, and I am defining day trader as having unlimited day trades every single day, but you can't because of that rule. Well, please realize that there is a market out there, and there is a way to go about this market in a very risk-controlled way that gives you unlimited day trades every day. Not to mention it gives you access to a market that, quite frankly, trades way better than the stock market anyways. But I totally understand if you think that this all sounds way too good to be true. What's the catch? Which is why I'm inviting you to swing by my live stream, start every day at 11 a.m. Eastern, and I go for a few hours, and watch this with your very own eyes and ask any questions that you have. Because yes, I put my money behind my mouth, and this is what I am believing and what I've been doing, and it is truly, truly a great thing. So if you are skeptical, I understand. Like I said, come swing by the live stream, ask me any questions that you may have. Next one, SOXS, and we have ourselves a pretty big pullback here. Now, to be fair, from the grand scheme of it all, the price is still hanging in there because the price is still up above that pink line there, that 200 period moving average, which is the overarching, kind of moving average in the world of charts in terms of gauging overall trends. Now, there's not much wiggle room left, but the price is still up above it. And in the very near term, and I realize this is where things can sound a little goofy, where it's all perspective. Because if you're a day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought right there, or you bought the dip right there, and your plan was to buy and sell within 10 minutes, well then, yeah, from that standpoint, things are looking really, really rough. But from an overarching standpoint, as the price is pulled back even more, like I said, the price is still technically above that pink line. But I would certainly consider that pink line, I don't want to say do or die, but certainly very important, because at that point, you really can't make any more arguments for the bulls from any reference point, because the price is now down below even the overarching moving average. If the price does try to curl back upwards, I guess I'll get rid of that. But first key battleground from the support, from the resistance standpoint, it's like some of these others, is right up here at that purple line there. That 50 period moving average right now valued at 431. But yeah, big, nasty pullback. But to be fair, for those of you that care about the grand scheme of it all, still an opportunity to stay above that 200 period moving average. Next one, BYND. And to be fair, this one has actually started to do something it has not done for quite a while, and that is build some higher bases. If you look at the low from there, and then that low from this morning, technically a little bit higher, and then this low from this afternoon, even a little bit higher, there are some lows that are getting built higher and higher. Now, does this guarantee anything? It doesn't, but it does make it more plausible to say, hey, maybe this is some sort of bottom. Maybe some sort of kind of alleviation is taking place. And really the best way to gauge this now is to watch that trend line right there, because in order for the price to stay above that trend line, the price is going to need to continue to build higher bases. So again, just because the price is above there doesn't mean that it's, game over, hook, line, and sinker. But it does make it way more plausible, whereas if the price was still just dropping, and I'm sitting here saying, hey, it's looking like this could be the bottom, you'd be totally justified to say, well, what are you talking about? Based on what? The price is literally just dropping. But that's not the case here. It has put in some some higher lows, so that makes it a little bit more plausible. In terms of areas of resistance, yeah, surprise, surprise. Once again, in this situation, that purple line there, currently the key area of resistance, and currently right where the price found some pushback today. But overall, to give credit where it's due, there is some higher lows, so let's see if the price can build upon this as the week continues to play out. Next one, AEHL. Very nice pattern here has formed, so let's get this pattern drawn into play here. So right here we have the resistance portion of the pattern. Here we have the support portion, and then just to keep it all the same color, resistance, support, big move up, golf hole down here. For you golfers out there, make it a little bit more visual. And this is a bull pennant pattern. Now, let me be very clear. Just because it's the bullish pattern does not mean that for sure guaranteed if this comes up here and breaks through there, it's going to make a big run. But my point here is it at least is it at least a valid question to throw out there as a possibility? Absolutely. That would just be a textbook bull pennant breakout. Again, not guaranteed to happen, but certainly a plausible scenario. So if you like bull pennants, you like stocks down below the $5 range, certainly keep an eye on it. Next one here, DVLT. I'm going to go through this one quicker because you heard me just talk about it. So in the spirit of wanting to respect your time as much as possible, there is our area of resistance. Oops. There we go. There is our area of support. Make that green, and then just make sure everybody can see it because this one looks a little bit different, but same general idea. So here's our area of resistance. There's our area of support. There's a nice upwards move right here. There is the golf hole down here. We're looking at another bull pennant pattern. So as I just said, nothing's guaranteed, but bull pennants are definitely, can be a powerful pattern. So if you like bull pennants and you like the price range down around here, then you definitely have a couple of choices here headed into Tuesday. Next one, TSLL. Very nice day on this one, especially when you consider just how nasty. I mean, the last 30 minutes on Friday were not looking good at all. And then the price just slammed on the brakes, gapped up, and then made a great move. So quite the turnaround, and not exactly at all what was looking like, after what happened that final 30 minutes. But overall, some now new key technical levels. So the first level, you got to think a lot of people are probably drawn, is that trend line right there, which goes back to that idea of those self-fulfilling prophecies, where if the price comes up and breaks through there, not guaranteed to make a further move, but it could be plausible based on the fact that you got to think a lot of people are probably watching that area. But even if the price does break through there, I want to get, that's a good step in the right direction, but I want to get too excited because not that far away, you do have the pink line up there. That 200 period moving average right now valued right around 1837, but also one step at a time. Let's first see if the price can even get above that red line. In terms of areas of support, as we've talked about quite a bit in this top 10, that purple line once again coming into play as that main area of support right there, currently valued at 16. We'll call it 65-ish, right around there. If the price were to come down there and break below it, again, I'm not saying the chart is destroyed, but that would be a little bit disheartening because think about it. If the price were to come down here and then break down below, now all of a sudden you start to have the price going back to where it was. And I mean, not to insult your intelligence, but strong moves don't make great moves and then go back to where they were right there. At least going to show a sign of progress. And in this situation, that's what that purple line is representing, that sign of progress in the upwards direction. But definitely a nice start to the week here. Let's see how this one continues to play out. So that wraps up the top 10. And again, if you have any questions or you are just looking for another market that moves better than the stock market, that has a way to keep your risk very small, then come check out what I've been doing. It's a very powerful solution that was not available when I first got started. So yes, if you want to have unlimited day trades every day, enter into a market that's open essentially around the clock, then like I said, swing by the live stream, watch it with your very own eyes, and ask me any questions that you may have. So thanks for hanging out. Make sure you hit that like button. Take care.